month. Okay. Sorry, it's a lot to talk about. We started off really bad. We also ended really bad, and we were also bad like the whole time.
Apagando las luces.
Oh, light just turned off. Like, that's just crazy. I play DPS for the Houston Outlaws. I'm from Chicago, Illinois. I'm Dante, and these are my milestones. I played video games my whole life. I played like console games though. The first time I started playing PC games was on our computer in the living room. It was actually connected to the TV, so I was playing like a big screen TV, and I had the mouse pad on the couch and my like keyboard on my lap. I wasn't really competitive. I was just like a random person in Minecraft at this point. I played these Hunger Games servers with my IRL friends. That's when I started to really get interested in playing PC games. For 8th grade graduation, I think, my parents got me an Alienware laptop. I was really busy with soccer. If my dad or mom were watching shows, I couldn't play on the PC. But when I got my laptop, I had a little more freedom, and I could just play a lot more. I started uploading when I was a freshman. I made Minecraft PvP videos. My YouTube started to get a lot of traction. And then like 9 months later, a year later, I think I had like 10k subs when I was a sophomore. And then eventually by the end of junior year, I had 100k subs. I kind of lost my passion for Minecraft. I started to play other games. A friend mentioned Overwatch to me. I think it just released. And I started playing quick play with just my Minecraft friends. I still played a bit of Minecraft, but I was kind of like getting bored with Minecraft. Like, I just didn't know what to do really. Growing up, I was really competitive in soccer. I played travel my whole life. I think it's really important to be competitive with whatever you do. If you are always trying hard from the start, like when you're like 7 years old, like your soccer coach, your parents, they're pushing you to be your best. Like, you're gonna form habits, and you're gonna like just be a hard worker. When comp came out, I was like, all right, I'm finding a hero. I'm gonna get really good at a hero. That's when I got like really into Overwatch. I chose Zarya to one trick. I just played Zarya every map, every opportunity I could. I just played Zarya. I got really good at the game around season 2 of Overwatch. I joined my first team, like semi-pro team, or not even semi-pro. It was just like a weekly team with friends and stuff. I kept on playing ranked. I was always high SR. I would do well in like the weekly tournaments on my team. I feel like me being a hard worker in soccer and stuff transitioned to me being like a hard worker when it came to gaming and stuff. I feel like Denial, we were always short. We were just short of being in like the tier 1 teams, barely losing the weekly tournaments like against the best teams like LG Evil. I think our first big accomplishment was like getting 3rd place in an Alienware. That's where we had Silk Thread as a ringer, but then I think Silk Thread couldn't play because I think it was with his parents or something. I'm not completely sure. But we ended up picking up Space, and I transitioned to the DPS role from off tank. At this point, we're a few months away from OWL. We won the last Alienware monthly melee, and then there was information about contenders getting announced and stuff. Unfortunately, we did not make contenders. We got 3rd in our group, and we needed to get top 2. And we were like 1 map off of it or something. It was really close. When contenders was going on, there were like no other tournaments for us to play in. We stopped practicing as a team because there was just no purpose for us. And me and XQC wanted to stream a lot. We were like trying to grow our brands and stuff because we knew it's like really important to just like get your name out there, like grind a bunch of ranked. And we didn't see the benefit as a team to grind that stuff out. I don't know. I feel like I've never been the most entertaining person, but people watch me because I'm good. Normally I would stream in the morning. There wouldn't be really many people streaming. Like me and XCC would just wake up early and play ranked all day. I feel like I just got a lot of viewers because there was no one on to watch, and I was like the best player. So that was my appeal back then. That was why streaming was going really well for me. Everyone's like doing their own grinding and stuff. When Overwatch League tryouts came out, I think I kind of made a mistake in season 1, and I got an Overwatch League offer really early, and I just signed because I was like I need to get in. Like it's guaranteed. Like once I'm in, I'm in. Shock was my first tryout. It was like really early in the signing window. At this point, I was also getting pressured by my parents. It didn't really make sense for them at the time. I made the Shock tryouts. I didn't try out for other teams, which is kind of stupid of me. I just got the contract and I was like, I need to do this. Maybe it's because like I felt the pressure because I didn't want to have to go to college or something. Me and Super were really young going into Shock. Super was 17. I was barely 18. I think I kind of struggled with a lot of things. Just first time away from home, and my parents were always really just doing everything for me. Just food in general was difficult for me because I just didn't know what to make. Like I couldn't make like anything. I just microwave only. I guess just like stupid things. Like I just do really like stupid mistakes. Back then I was like, dang, this is like so cool. I'm getting paid for like just like my passion, like my job. I really love the team too. Maybe in the beginning it was a little rough because we had like a lot of personality clashes. But as we eased into it more, as we got into the year, I like began to really love that team. Everyone was so awesome. When we picked up Moth and Junkbuck, I think that's when Shock really turned around. Everyone like became a lot closer and stuff because we started to find more success, like play more as a team. It's a lot easier to be close as a team when you're doing better. Everything just feels easier and everyone's happier. I think I definitely matured as a person. I was still like pretty goofy. As a player, I grew a lot too. I think one of my biggest problems, I didn't really know how to calm well or even talk well. Like in interviews, it was really, really hard for me. And growing up, I was in a really, really small house, so I would be quiet a lot of the times because I had to share a room with my brother. Parents were like in the living room or in the room like right next to me sleeping, but having all these optimal setups and stuff, it's a lot easier to calm, and that's a skill I really picked up on in Season 1, and my coaches really pushed me to be more vocal. When I first found out I was getting traded to Outlaws, it was really, really bittersweet. Krusty talked to me. Basically, he told me that I have a lot of potential as a player. He wants me to be the player that can like always start on the team, and he felt like Outlaws would be like a really good fit for me. I don't think I had much of an option. I think he was just telling me like all the good parts about it. I was of value to a different team. Like one man's trash is another man's treasure. So I was like exactly what Outlaws needed. Shock has like plentiful of this resource. They have plentiful of the DPS. So it just made a lot of sense for both teams. They gave me a significant raise too. But I had to resign. You gotta do what's best for your career. Like, who knows, if I stayed on Shock and I was just benched, like, maybe I would have never grown as a player. I was really sad because I was really, really good friends with all the Shock. I was living with Super. He would always just joke around and be like, you're an outlaw now. I can't talk to you. You're like too cool. That felt really hard at the time, but I was still really optimistic because I was like, yeah, I get to like start full time again. I'm like super excited. In Season 2, that's when we saw like the biggest talent jump. There were just so many crazy contenders players coming in, but I feel like Outlaws weren't aware of like the amount of talent that was coming in, and I think we could have had like some great pickups. And I had a general idea that most contenders players were actually pretty good because before I got traded, I played in Atlanta tryouts, and there were a lot of contenders players in there, and I was like really surprised with a lot of them. I think that's actually a reason why I like started talking to Flame. I remember him saying that he wanted to pick up people mid-season that would get benched, because I think in his eyes, he thought that bench players would be better than the contenders players that are coming in. Unfortunately, like a month later or like 2 months after I joined Outlaws, Optic was being sold. So now we actually can't pick up any other players. When I found out I was getting sold and like it's all these like budget cuts and stuff, I was guaranteed my salary, so that was nice, but that also was scary because it wasn't the org, like it didn't get the support it got before, and it also meant that we just have the roster we have. Then as we started to practice, a lot of flaws with structure and stuff. It just gave people an excuse for us not succeeding. Even though our org got sold, we could have made the right decisions early on. We could have picked up the contenders players, but we didn't because I think just mismanagement in the beginning. Like, as a newbie, like when I first joined, I felt like I didn't have like any power to like say anything. People are literally going on their phones and not paying attention while we're reviewing in the practice room, and then there's like problems in management, there's problems in players, there's everything. It just didn't really feel like a team. Like after scrims, everyone would just go straight home, do their own thing, and the excuse was just like, oh, we don't have an org, we can't do anything. But like we can do stuff, and people do stuff all the time. We really lost like the team aspect, or I really lost like the team aspect and like the family aspect, but I still had some like really good friends, like Spree, Raucus, Jake. I'm really thankful I got to play with them. I still felt like there was like a huge gap, because when you go from a team that's like actually like a family and like so close, but when you go from that to something like the complete opposite, it feels really weird. The season, it went pretty terribly. Like, we would get rolled in scrims a lot. It was like really hard. We get rolled in matches and stuff, and no matter like what you did, it just felt like you'd lose just because there were like so many problems in every single aspect. It was kind of like depressing during times. I didn't really notice it because it's something that like slowly like grows on you. Like when you lose every scrim for like a whole season, it just sucks. It just doesn't feel good. There's a lot. So season 3 comes around. We were feeling good because we got new pickups. Still questionable things going into season 3, but there were still a lot of good things. The good outweighed the bad, so that's good. It felt really fresh going into a season with like hope, because that brought back hope. Like I was super motivated going into season 3. In scrims, we were actually like competitive with good teams and stuff. At least now I could like have opportunities to like make plays and stuff, and play more like team-oriented heroes. The new pickups we got, I think it really made it more of like a family. Like Blase, Hydration, Meko, Repel, Jexay. I think they were all really, really nice people. Like I'm super thankful that I got to play with them. Everyone felt like they wanted it a lot more than the year before, and that felt really nice. It just feels good when people are good teammates, when they try their hardest. We had an amazing like scrim run before the end of the season, but we were good for the wrong reasons, I think. Something that Junkbook said earlier this year, we had the potential to be good, but we didn't understand why we were good or how we were good. So we would just be like up and down. Like one hero pool would be really good, then bad, then good, then bad. But that feels a lot better than just losing all the time. The comms were quieter than most teams' comms. So I felt like I really had to step up as a leader, and I'm really happy that I got the opportunity to like practice like that. I think it really grows you when you have to become a leader. It really teaches you so many things, and I feel like that's like the big thing that I gained that season that people don't see from the outside. I think COVID helped me a lot, like understand myself better and understand how to play better. I began to exercise. I started like practice mindfulness, and I feel like they helped me a lot. Like I just don't feel like I'm nearly as good or can do the things like I can do. Like I feel like I can't be a leader if I like have those lacking. I've like upgraded in all the IRL stuff. I can like fix my toilet now and stuff. I can do the handy dandy work like that. I feel really good and really confident going into this next season. I forgot how good this feeling feels. I want to really make a name for myself this year. I would definitely like to be an MVP candidate and a role star. I think the best kind of goals are the ones that are actually achievable, and I think those are definitely achievable. I know that this year can be like a year that our team can be good, so those feel really achievable this year.